I'm standing outside of Marie Berard's house in Toronto. We're about to have our meeting to go through the Spohr and the Beethoven, and I hear this beautiful violin music as I approach. Amazing. And Marie Berard's wonderful kitchen, her home in Toronto. And this is her pride and joy, the ceiling of the kitchen, which is amazing. It's a painting.
Yes, it's a painting. It's a reproduction of Kandinsky painting, but over on the corner over there in the original, he has Kandinsky has like something that looks like a painting brush.
Yeah.
So this guy who painted it did a bow.
Oh my God! I see that. It's hard to see from here, but
yeah, you can't really. When we put it up, we in fact would have had to turn it around and put the bow over there to be more visible. But
so was it a canvas?
yeah.
So it's actually mounted on like a actual
on a wood frame. Yeah, like it's a 3-part.
So you have to be careful if you ever push a broom up there.
Which I don't do. Full of spider webs and cobwebs and whatnot.
And I'm going to be the recipient of a café au lait.
Yes.
Because every good kitchen should have an espresso machine.
Of course. And a copper little thingy to warm up your milk.
Exactly.
And a knock box for the...
A knock box.
Very important part.
An amazing violin, but there, look at that. A work of art. I'm here with Marie Berard. We did a little run through of the Beethoven and the Spohr, and it was amazing. And is it okay if I use a little bit of the audio clip?
Sure.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds amazing. And I just found out that she repairs MacBooks.
I do not.
She did her own battery. It's amazing. Anyways, that's fantastic.
Just followed the instructions.
Yeah, I know, but so many musicians never get into that kind of stuff.
True,
Like
it is scary.
They're so afraid of technology, and I could never understand it because ever since I was in music, I always embraced technology and found it fascinating.
You have to either be good at it in order to be interested in it, or you have to be interested in it to be good at it. I'm not even sure, which one it is. Welcome to our world.
I know. And then we get to do this music from an ancient world.
An ancient
And it was actually really interesting because I was doing a bit of research, of course, so I could sound intelligent.
Well, nobody knows too much about the Spohr. It's not one of those.
I thought it was actually really amazing that you chose that because he was like an amazing violinist.
Yes, of course.
And little known fact that you may know, he actually was responsible for developing the violin chin rest.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I found that out last night.
You're kidding!
In my searching of things.
They played without a chin rest at all, and he just maybe because he wanted to be so much more.
And maybe he was tired of sweating all over his instrument and ruining the varnish.
Right. Oh, how interesting.
Yeah. And of course he was around during the time of Beethoven, so they were kind of cohorts. And after Spohr died, his music died with him essentially. And it wasn't until like in
this 20th century
in Europe especially that it's begun to come back.
Okay.
And it's really beautiful, charming music.
It's very charming. It's well written. The septet is probably the most often played piece. I've played the nonette as well, which is a wonderful piece. And then there's the duos, which are fun for students, because they're very technical, but you get these nice melodies, and he does a lot of double stops, so it sounds like a quartet with 2 people.
Yeah. Well,
but this little concerto, it's just one of the number of them that he wrote, 9 or however many.
And what drew you to this concerto?
Well, it's just because it's a one movement piece that really has a whole section that's so much like opera, aria, recitatives, and even the slow parts sound like slow opera arias.
Yeah, it's very operatic.
Beethoven Romance.
Yes.
Too,
and another interesting fact that I discovered in this research is that Spohr actually hung out with Beethoven. They weren't friends, but what was it, when he was writing his trios, Spohr would go over to Beethoven's house and play through them with him. And he actually complained about Beethoven's out-of-tune piano and the lack of finesse that he had when he played, and, which is sort of interesting because when you look at the scores of like Beethoven, like his handwritten manuscript, there's a total lack of finesse. It's just like...
Right. He was all about the emotion and the getting the...
But even like he got everything amazingly, but you'd find these chunks where he'd scratch things out because he wasn't happy with it, and just unlike the handwritten scores of Mozart, which were just really like
they come out just perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
and Bach as well. Yeah.
Yeah, incredible, and I mean. But
that's just that personality trait, right? And it shows in their music. Yeah. Beethoven has that side of him that's just
cooking.
Yes. Not in this thing.
Well, I know that you teach a lot.
Yes.
Because I've worked actually with some of your students when I conducted the Academy Chamber Orchestra.
Right.
And one of your students played the Mozart 5. Teresa, that's right. And I mean, it's amazing how you're able to give back to the young and to kind of keep really that sort of torch
important,
going.
I think, for your own playing. You know, teaching is just, it does great things for me for the way I think and the way I approach the instrument, and also just helps me stay young, I think, in not just as a person, but as a musician, as a member of our community, to not grow old and
to keep. Yeah.
But when you teach, you know, you see children all the time, and I teach a lot of teenagers mostly.
Right.
And I you know, the feeling of taking a 10-year-old to 17 and see them go
blossoming
off to university, it's really incredible.
It's amazing.
It's
and
great.
I mean, you're a super busy musician. You're concertmaster of the Canadian Opera Company.
Yes, that's the main thing.
That's the main gig, and then you've got the trio, which
Trio
is...
Arkel, which we have a concert series, 3 concerts.
In Toronto.
Yes, and the Arc Ensemble, which is the teachers at the Glen Gould School.
Right.
I really can't complain. There's so much variety and great colleagues.
And if people wanted to come and see your other the ensembles, there's a webpage that they could go to?
Yes, trioarkel.com for sure. Next concert November 5th. And then we have a concert with New Music Concerts in February 25th. And another of our series later in April.
You are a great coffee maker, thank you for the coffee, but you're also a foodie, right?
Well, not really.
Come on.
I love food, yes, and I have friends who are so good at it. Myself, I'm not really that good at, I'm a terrible, terrible baker, but I love food, but I'm not educated enough to really call myself a foodie. But I do enjoy.
No, but whenever I post something that's kind of bizarre, or something that I've made that's like really rustic Italian, I'm going, oh my God, I had that in California. I love those things. I'm going, really? You know about frittatas?
More so than a foodie, I'm in love with the Italian language and trying to teach myself Italian on Duolingo and faithfully do it with my coffee every day. It's just that, you know, Italian is, if you play opera, it's in your life all the time, and even we get tons of colleagues who are Italian at the opera, and I just think it's so close to French. There's no reason that I don't speak Italian.
Allora va bene adesso, parli No?
It's too embarrassing.
E dai, lancia un poco.
You have to wait until I feel a little bit more confident to even say anything to you.
Oh God.
I wrote Meraviglioso, right? When you...
Yes, I know, you did. That was
you did
very good. My little video.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for having me over and going through these with me. Our concert is October 29th at the Burlington Performing Arts Centre with Marie Berard as our featured soloist, and looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Yes, me too. Thank you.
Pleasure.